Hi guys, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the surface area of a cone. Okay, now a cone is very similar to a pyramid in that it's got one base. So in the case of a cone, the base is a circle. So that would be our base here. Okay, and we also have the top, the sides joining in an apex, similar to our other pyramids. And some other vocabulary that we need to be familiar with is the radius, which we already know, the radius of the base. That's going to be important to us in our formulas. We want to know about the height of a cone. And that height there is the perpendicular distance from the very bottom to the very top, or to the apex of the cone. And then we also talk here about something called the slant height. So that's like the height of the side of the cone. Now, one thing that's going to help us to understand the formula for surface area of a cone is if we think about the net of a cone, which is this diagram here. So the net of a cone looks like this. So looking at that, we've got two sort of distinct parts. So when we want to work out the surface area, that's going to be equal to the area of the base, which is the circle. Okay, so the area of this part here, plus what we call the lateral area. Okay, which is this sort of pie shape here. Now we know the area of a circle, or the area of the base, is pi r squared. Now to get the lateral area, what we have to do is pi times the radius times s, which is the slant height. Okay, and I'm not going to go into how to derive that formula, but if you're interested in where this formula comes from, you can take a look at the extension part of this lesson. Okay, but for now we're just going to work with the formula that we know here. So that's our formula for surface area of a cone. So for example, I have this cone down here, and it's got a height of 48 meters. And it's got a diameter of 28 meters. That's the information that we're given here. Now, if I want to find out the surface area of the cone, I've got to do a little bit of work here, because the two variables that I need to know are the radius and the slant height. Now, the radius is pretty easy. It's just half the diameter. So that's 14 meters. But to work out the slant height, which is this here, what I've got to do is I've got to use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so I've got a right angle triangle there, which has a height of 48, and then the base of the triangle there would be 14, my radius. So to work out s, I would just do the square root of 14 squared plus 48 squared. Okay, I'm plugging that into my calculator. I get a slant height of 50 meters. Okay, now that I've got the radius and I've got the slant height, I can plug that into my formula to find out the total surface area. So I would do surface area is equal to pi times the radius, which is 14 squared, plus pi times the radius again, times the slant height, which is 50. Okay, and then that you can just plug directly into your calculator. And what I would get rounded to the nearest meter is 2,815. And because we're talking about surface area, our unit would be meters squared.